Okay, so you know when a random song from way back in the day just starts looping in your brain and it's like literally impossible to get it out. I actually had this happen recently with Sabrina Carpenter's Good Graces song. Not get it out of my head. I even ended up using it in my Instagram story, which if you don't follow me there on Instagram, please do because I posted a lot of really cool stuff. When you hear some of these songs and you really just like instantly like it, pretty much lives in your head rent free if you think about it, and you're just helpless. So that happened to me recently, not with the Sabrina Carpenter song. It happened to me recently with an anime song that you may know pretty well. And I swear anime is 1,000% to blame for this kind of thing. They really are. It's not just about the crazy outfits anymore. It's not about yelling out the made up attack names anymore. Anime is low key our gateway into how our music taste is shaped. We are going to take a look back at what happened to some of our favorite singers from some of our favorite animes, from anime openers to anime closers. This is a new series I'm going to start where we just start looking back at some of our favorite animes, some of those songs that completely changed our lives, because I know good well that back when I was in high school, a lot of these songs that were from my favorite animes were pretty much the only songs I listened to on repeat. If Spotify had been a thing back in the day, these songs would have definitely been on my top most playlists. Fortunately, my music taste has really been diversified since then, so we're gonna just kind of take a look back in the past. Like Dan to Dan, that's a super catchy song. Take a look back at what happened to some of our favorite songs, one in particular today, and where they are today. You just made. You're beautiful. Growing up, first anime that completely snatched me by the throat and made me a full-on weeb was Inuyasha. It wasn't the first anime I watched. I give that one probably to Dragon Ball Z. Inuyasha was the anime that made me an official anime fan. If it were not for chemistry that Inuyasha and Kagome had, the whole plot line, the story, you see animes today even give nods back at Inuyasha. Think about I think it was one of the openers or closers for Demon Slayer where they used the exact same flower that was in one of the openers or closers for Inuyasha. Instantly when you look at it, you think Inuyasha. Even some of the storylines today for animes like Jujutsu Kaisen, for example. The fact that they have all these fingers that are lost in the world and they have to go retrieve all of them. Inuyasha, same thing. They had pearl shards that were all over their world and they had to go retrieve them in order for those shards, not to end up in the hands of evil. Inuyasha, they not just influence a lot of animes today, but they have very much influenced me. I can still remember those Saturday nights, half asleep, eyes barely open, and then bam! The TV would light up with those magic anime openers and I would be wide awake and just totally hooked. But listen, today I gotta give some extra love to one specific anime that has had a special place in my heart, which is Inuyasha. Inuyasha will always have a special place in my heart. It just hits different. I mean, when you watch Inuyasha, you can tell it's just one of those animes that ended up inspiring animes, which it is. But let's be real. What really stole my heart wasn't just the badass fight scenes, the comic relief, or even the juicy love triangle between Inuyasha, Kagome, and Kikyo. Though, seriously, that love triangle had to be one of the most iconic love triangles. It was even an iconic love triangle before Bella and Edward and Jacob. When Inuyasha was out, people were either rooting for Kagome or Kikyo, and I think with Kagome she had another love interest as well. She could have either had Inuyasha or some other dude. Kagome, she was a hot gal. She could have had anybody if she wanted to. I mean, honestly, when Inuyasha, he really did steal my heart when he was brunette. You guys remember brunette Inuyasha? Talk about natural riz, for sure. Are you just kidding? No, it was no openers and closers that hit me right in the feeling every single time. The vibrant red spider lilies stretching across the screen, casting a glow that reached the corners of my childhood bedroom, while My Will by Dream played in the background. It felt like a fever dream, one of those moments that sticks with you long after the credits roll. Let's not forget that Ferris wheel scene in the first closing credits. Iconic. Inuyasha's opening and closing titles didn't just set the mood, they set the bar for every anime that came after. Take Demon Slayer, like I just mentioned. When they dropped those red spider lilies in the credits, it was like a direct nod to Inuyasha, and it gave me just like the most nostalgic chills when I saw that. Thank you for bringing that back, Demon Slayer, because I feel like that was definitely a nod to them, which is probably another reason why people love Dandadan so much, because it does give respect to a lot of different animes that came before it. But here's where it gets even juicier. I want to spotlight one of my favorite anime closers, a specific ending theme from Inuyasha. The song Come. The song was Come by Nami Amuro. It was the 7th ending for Inuyasha. The 7th closing credits of Inuyasha featuring Come by Nami Amuro are literally a whole vibe. The aesthetic is everything soft, dreamlike, and low-key, kind of moody, but in a way that hits differently even if you've been through the emotional roller coaster of this series. The fact that they even brought the actual Inuyasha and the actual Kagome back for the spin-off series, they were like, these two, we can't get these two talented people anywhere else to cover these voices. They did their damn thing. They did their damn thing. The visuals themselves, insane. You've got Kagome looking all introspective and solemn, walking through these beautiful bleak landscapes that look like a soft focus fever dream. The animation is so gorgeously minimal, almost giving those Tumblr edit vibes with the glowy filters that make everything feel like it's floating. Kagome's reflections ripple in the water, and it's like, girl, same. We're all just trying to figure things out. As she's looking at the water herself, like, I wish I could be in that environment figuring things out as well. And don't even get me started on how Come pairs with all of this. Nami Amuro's voice is straight up just haunting. The way she sings, come my way. Okay, that wasn't my singing voice, so don't judge me based off of that. I think I'm actually a pretty good singer. But the way she sings that just hits while you're watching Kagome wander through all these ethereal spaces. It feels like a soft goodbye, honestly, but also like a gentle push forward, as if to say, yeah, things are rough, but you're not alone in this. It's like the perfect blend of sad, but also hopeful. The beat is chill, but it's got that kind of early 2000s nostalgic, lo-fi R&B flavor that makes the whole thing feel timeless. Because even if you listen to the song today, trust me, you're gonna want to repeat that. You're gonna want to play it again after you hear it the first time around. And honestly, the song and the visuals together are the emotional reset you didn't know you needed after watching Inuyasha and Kagome nearly kill each other or make out, who knows with them. It's such a vibe that you're low-key mad when the credits end. But here's the real tea. The song we all stan and associate with Inuyasha, yeah, it wasn't always what we thought. Plot twist. So this song was actually a cover. Sophie Monk, an Australian singer, actress, TV personality, and model, basically the whole package, was the original artist behind the song. Her version was called Come My Way, which Nami Amuro actually sings that in her chorus. But Nami Amuro came through and blessed us with the iconic cover that we all know and love and made it into this iconic anime, Inuyasha. So let's talk about the differences between Sophie Monk's Come My Way and Nami Amuro's Come, because these two versions give completely different vibes, even though they share the same core topic feelings. Sophie Monk's Come My Way is a total product of its time. It has that early 2000s pop ballad feel with a hint of R&B, but it leans more toward cheesy, romantic energy. It feels like it could have been on the soundtrack of a rom-com where the main character is running through an airport to confess their love. There's a lot of emphasis on piano and a soft beat, making it more of a chill love song you'd listen to on your CD Walkman while doodling in your Lisa Frank notebook. It's sweet, but it's definitely lighter and more radio friendly. Now, Nami Amuro's Come is a whole other level of iconic. It's way more emotional and has this atmospheric quality that just makes it a hit. Amuro's voice adds a depth and intensity that wasn't as prominent in Sophie Monk's version. The instrumentation feels darker and more dramatic with a low-key electronic edge that makes it feel more like a personal anthem rather than just a love song. It's like the whole song evolved from a cute romance track to a soul-searching banger. We can all agree, Nami's version is a glow up from the original, no question. Her iconic voice elevates the whole vibe, making it so good that you can't help but want to deep dive into the rest of her discography. But here's the frustrating part. Good luck finding it. Nami's music is basically wiped off the entire internet because she personally yeeted her entire catalog from all streaming platforms. Nami started out as a literal teen icon in the idol group Super Monkeys back in 1992 when she was only just a wee 14-year-old gal. But her transition into becoming the queen of Japanese pop was next level. She didn't just evolve, she redefined the whole J-pop scene. Nami was nothing less than a game changer and pioneer in the music industry, and this claim is further solidified by the amount of accolades she received, making her one of Japan's most successful and diverse singers, having won so many awards. Her success in releasing 12 albums, 10 number one singles, having a number of singles that were featured in anime like Inuyasha, One Piece, the Death Note movie, and Amuro accepted an offer by NHK to record the theme song for the Japanese broadcast of the 2016 Summer Olympics and Paralympics in Rio de Janeiro, and the countless tours she went on that had live DVDs and Blu-ray released. It just makes it more questionable and perplexing on why she removed all her music, but as soon as you'll find out, her experience was constantly working on producing hot music, collaborating as a brand ambassador with a variety of events and brands, such as her music being used for every single one of them. But despite having this wholesome J-pop idol image on the outside and scoring hits like her 6th consecutive number one single, How to Be a Girl, Nami was secretly going through some heavy personal stuff. Excuse me. She got married to her first husband, TRF band member, shout out if you know TRF, Sam Maruyama, and was pregnant with their son only at the age of 21, all while working on her album Genius 2000. But in 1999, her world came crashing down. On the same day she dropped her single Respect, the Power of Love, news broke that her mother had been brutally murdered in Okinawa. Nami immediately paused all her work and flew home to deal with this unimaginable tragedy. Her mom's death was heartbreaking, and it was so public. It just flipped her world upside down during what should have been one of her biggest career moments, but unfortunately she needed to take that time to grieve. Nami dropping 12 albums, landing 10 number one singles, and having tracks featured in anime. And all of this was happening while she was privately dealing with some heavy stuff. The fact that she pushed through all of that and kept making music is wild. She bounced back and kept releasing bangers, but the mystery around her disappearing discography, still a big question mark. Nami Amuro officially retired from the entertainment world, leaving fans in awe after her final emotional performance in her hometown of Okinawa. Known as the Queen of J-pop, Nami shocked everyone a year earlier with the announcement on her 40th birthday that she'd be stepping away from the spotlight in September 2018. True to her trailblazing career, she ended her journey on her own terms, cementing her legacy as an icon who always stayed true to herself. Fans are still feeling the impact of her departure, a bittersweet farewell to one of Japan's most loved, beloved stars. She was so beloved in Japan, still is, but she's still like so beloved in Japan. She even had an animation created based off of her in One Piece, like a character. I don't think it was like a character within the series. I haven't gotten to that part yet of One Piece. I just made it past Dressrosa. We're like on the animal with the furry. We're on the island with the furries. That's where we are currently in the One Piece arc, if you're interested in knowing where we are. But I haven't gotten to the portion of the anime where she does like the opening song and she has a character based off of her in One Piece. You can see just how beloved she is in Japan to even be featured on several few different animes, and also NHK. NHK is a pretty big deal. It's kind of like the PBS, I guess. But in November 2023, fans of J-pop, of Nami, were devastated to see that her entire digital footprint was wiped from official online platforms. And it wasn't just the songs, it was her music videos. It's her full discography on streaming services like Spotify, Apple Music. Even her official YouTube channel disappeared just without explanation. I'm not going to tell you that I know that whatever the solution is. It's still unknown. This shocking move erased much of the content that kept her legacy alive for fans worldwide, sparking speculation and heartbreak among those who cherished her influence on J-pop and beyond. For many, it feels like the end of an era, one they're struggling to hold on to, which is kind of reminiscent of even Aaliyah's discography. Her music was not readily available for a very, very long time because of the record label that she was signed to. The record label that Aaliyah was signed to was owned through, I believe, like her uncle or something. Even after her passing, a lot of people who wanted to just stream her music and just listen to it to kind of grieve, they could not unless they owned a physical copy of one of her albums. And these songs were by Aaliyah were not available on any streaming platforms for quite some time. Even artists like Prince, but I believe that was Prince's personal decision. He did not want his music on streaming platforms because he just did not agree with the policies that came around with it. So it's kind of interesting to see this with Nami because she still has fans present to this very day. And even as Inuyasha, as iconic as it is, becomes more of the legendary anime that it is, because don't argue with me on that, it is. As that anime continues gathering more fans, as people continue to see more of the series and, of course, watch those openers and those closers, it's going to be difficult for people who become new fans of hers to find her music. It's going to be difficult for her legacy, but I mean, honestly, that's what it is. It's going to be difficult, her career, her reputation, everything she built to still be prominent, to still be shared amongst us regular folk. Years in the future, that's all that Nami's known for, is just, oh yeah, that one girl who had that song on Inuyasha, or that one girl who had that song on the the Death Note movie. That's all she's gonna be, unfortunately. And she had such an iconic career to the point that she was compared to Madonna. She was named the Madonna of Japan. People were going out to these huge stadium concerts that she was having where Blu-rays were available afterwards, so that people who were not able to attend, or people who did attend and just wanted to keep that memory of her performance, could do so by purchasing, these Blu-ray discs. And if you have one of those today, keep it, because that's probably one of the only ways that you'll be able to listen to her music, unfortunately. And like I said, I wish that I could end this saying that, well, the reason that we found out her music was deleted was this and that, but unfortunately we still don't know. I was hoping to find an answer myself because, gosh, her song that she did for Inuyasha, it's so hypnotic. I'm hoping that song does end up in my Spotify top play. If it doesn't, I mean, if it does, I'll let you guys know. I'll post it in my community, which if you guys don't follow my community post, definitely do. That song has been one of my favorites this year, and it's gonna be really sad to just kind of see her music kind of just trickle out of existence. Like I said earlier, she helped to shape J-pop. So for someone that big, for someone who had such a huge reputation like that in the music industry of Japan, for their whole career just to disappear like that, I would compare it to like being blackballed from like Hollywood. You know, they completely wipe your name off the list of auditions and everything. I think it was her choice to delete everything, but I don't know. Give this a like and subscribe. If you hold me, I will go back. If you like to be, I